Yes, I'm still celebrating my Clasico win, and Liverpool still losing in the league. Welcome back to another episode of Ball IQ Podcast. Tolu, very, very proud and satisfied Real Madrid fan.
Nelson, Chelsea fan. Um, yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
for now.
For now, hey, I don't blame you. There's some business to be taken care of in Cobham.
Yeah, I mean, just typical um, hospitality Chelsea FC. Just giving out points to the newly promoted sides. So
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Let's start with the Classico. We dropped a recap on Sunday, yesterday, so you guys go check it out. On the Classico, did the deep dive there. But what are your thoughts on the game?
on the Clasico,
Yeah,
it's the first time in a few results or a few fixtures that you guys have gotten a result.
yeah.
Correct.
First last four, we lost last four. We won in last 8 fixtures. We won four, then they won four.
Wow, so it's just been a reverse sweep
Yeah.
almost. I mean, I know last week when we discussed what we thought in terms of score predictions, I was more along the lines of it being like a score draw.
Yeah, 3-3. I think.
Yeah, 3-3 is what I said. It did seem as if to me that there were more goals in it. When I watched the game, there were several offsides calls, so there could have been more goals.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely a big statement win for Madrid. I think.
Go ahead.
I think in terms of Barcelona, there's a lot to be done in terms of that high line that they were playing. There's always drama and little plot lines
yeah.
in football.
Yeah.
So that was one of the plot lines, I believe. It's cool to see. There's a lot of talking being done before the game, so it's kind of cool to see that all get to the bubble up to the surface. And kids took some lessons. So it seemed like a great game. Classic, another classic in the Clasico
Yeah.
chapters. So
Yeah, it had everything. What? Three disallowed offside goals. One unlucky for Mbappe. Mbappe's side toe was offside. Denied him of golazo. It had a red card at the end. It had fights. Vinny's outburst. I don't know if you saw it when he got subbed. I mean, I put my thoughts in the previous video about in the review of the Clasico. Obviously, you don't want to see that his reaction publicly. He's an emotional guy. Just is what it is. He walked down straight to the tunnel, then came back to join his team. I think he realized, okay, I'm tripping. I know I'm mad, but I think there was a statement that came out that obviously we dealt privately, but nobody in the stadium understood the sub. He was cooking.
Yeah. It's always tough. I mean, as a player, to get hooked when you think you're making a pretty big impact on the game. The moment is about to happen, and you get hooked. He scored an offside goal, correct?
No, he didn't. But he set up.
It was the assist.
Yeah.
So the definition of knocking on the door, knowing it's about to open,
Yeah.
and getting hooked, is probably it's probably painful to experience. So. But yeah, put on a good face. You don't want to throw your toys out the pram.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair to him, he did make some comments saying always me first, always me, and I think he's right there. Where it's out of the big boys in games like this, it's always him that goes out first, and he's been coming off gracefully.
Yeah.
But this game, with everything, everything that it means, and how he was performing, I think that was just a bit too much for him.
Yeah.
Still doesn't excuse his behavior, but I felt him, man. I'm yo, why are you taking me off every time? I'm the best forward player right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. Sometimes, it's just tactics, really, at the end of the day. There's something going on in Xabi Alonso's brain where he thought he knew better than what we were obviously seeing. I mean, it's obvious to say, but I think ultimately, when you got a player like that, a winger who's dynamic, he can move, I'm not gonna say he wasn't impacting the game. He was,
He was.
but sometimes you just need to switch it up.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, yeah.
One of the frustrating things, and we'll get into it, that I saw from the Chelsea game was that, I mean, Pedro Neto and Garnacho are essentially the same player. They both
That is
run.
crazy. I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's
So
true.
to see them both start was very frustrating in a way that you're just watching two people try and, I mean, if you're familiar with FIFA, like just they were just running to the touch just straight down, and then all they could, there's no sauce, there's no,
Just
maybe,
cuts.
yeah, just cut in, and then maybe one little, oh, is somebody in the middle? No, nobody's there because Mark is just learning.
Yeah.
And you know, João Pedro's not necessarily it's just a lot of things, but I don't mean to distract from
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, it's funny you mentioned that because they also both don't look up when they're with the ball.
They
I
look
just-
up at the last thing, you're, oh,
yeah,
oh, the corner flag's right there, and they're like,
yeah.
too late. So
Yeah.
with Vinny and just wingers in general, I feel like sometimes who knows what Xabi Alonso wanted from him from that position, what his marching orders were on the day. I'm sure he was impacting the game, but maybe he wasn't doing exactly what he needed to do, and he thought, and you know, maybe there was a liability or something like that, or
Yeah.
you know, who knows? But
Who knows? Who knows? I think he wanted to bring in fresh legs and somebody with a little more defensive awareness at that stage of the game. And Rodrigo obviously is creative, but has a bit more appetite to run back than Vinny. So I thought that was the
I
decision.
mean that's it. I think there's. Those are the first players. Like I said all that to say, those are usually the first players that come off, and it's the most maddening. You're like,
Yeah.
why are you taking off?
Him off? Like, are you
He's
kidding?
our
Yeah.
best. He's our talisman. But
Yeah.
like, you know, if you know ball, which we do, no, there's more to it. There's
There is more to it.
you
There's
gotta
more
do
to
your
it.
job going back and maintain the result, because it was, regardless of those offside goals, it was still 2-1. Anything could have happened.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good game. Carvajal got hurt again, so he'll be out for a couple months. But Trent was back in the squad. He didn't play. I think that was the goal for him not to play. But he's back in the squad, so when he's match fit, he'll be able to play. Then it'll be interesting to see what happens, because Camavinga played, like, he tweeted after the game, new position unlocked. There's a running joke in the Madrid fandom where Camavinga is like,
No, yeah, we're all aware.
Yeah, the plaster for
wherever
left back.
I mentioned that last time. I was like, you're like, who's the player when we need him? Shows up and plays anywhere. I said in my mind that's Tchouaméni or Camavinga.
Yeah,
Just
for
do
sure.
whatever.
Do whatever it takes. But he played right mid, right winger, and he was like, he's literally press proven. Like, there's some clips of him where they press him and he just does something weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what did he just do? But yeah, well, yeah, good game. But like I said, Carvalho is hurt, so big blow for us for sure. But I think, yeah, I hope we kick on, and with Vinny, I'm sure everything will be fine. I don't, even with these scuffle at the end, it's just part of the drama of the Clasico. And Vinny again, like, same thing happened to him midweek against Juventus, where he had a great game. He assisted the goal because his shot came off the bar, post, and Jude scored. And he got taken off first in that game too, so I'm sure it was just too much. And shout out to Jude. Jude played his socks off, and he kind of like bettered Pedri on the day. I know there's always the Jude Pedri thing. Shout out my boys, Madrid. Atletico won today, 2-0 away at Betis, so that's a good game. I mean, good 3 points for them. They're slowly and surely going back to their best of scoring and not conceding. They're the Arsenal of us, which surprised me how Arsenal demolished them in the Champions League.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, very, very weird. But speaking of Arsenal, let's go to the Prem. We'll save Chelsea last so that we have some time there. But Arsenal beat Crystal Palace 1-0. Eze, fitting for him to score his first Premier League goal against his old team. Arsenal, that's 7 wins in a row and 1 goal conceded
Yeah.
in that time. I mean, obviously,
5 center backs started every game.
I
Really
say
that craziness.
the thing about Arsenal is, I know everybody's looking at them now to be, it's theirs to lose, and I understand that. I just think they need to score more goals, and if they don't average at least 2 goals a game, I think it will catch up to them at some point. They need to get a habit of scoring, but they are hot right now. I can't even hate them.
Yeah, they're not even. I mean,
Another goal off
what I'm seeing,
set piece.
and it just upsets me, is what I'm seeing again is a Barkley season where the the sea just parts for a team.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like it did for Liverpool.
Yeah, like because sometimes when you have I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of Premier League winning. I mean, in my life, I've seen maybe I think 5 Premier League titles. I think
For Chelsea?
Yeah, that I've seen, and very few of them are like. I mean, there's been a couple. I think when Carlo smashed it, but most of them are pretty like.
Intense.
Wire to wire.
Yeah.
We got Man United that were going band for band, or Arsenal going band for band. City band for band. Or okay, we made a huge change in the middle of our season, and now we're cooking. Like, we. It's not often that you see it just gifted to somebody, and I guess I'm being a little bit critical because it's happening to teams I actively, passionately dislike. Whereas City has kind of, cakewalked for years to titles. But I still think when City was at the top, they were beating the brakes off a team.
Yeah, even the contenders, they beat the brakes off the contenders too.
It wasn't like the contenders didn't have their tie like fastened or like they were ready to go. Everybody was doing their best at that time, but we just they were just better. Arsenal and Liverpool last season, I feel like the competition had like problems, like false starts, just issues that they had to take care of internally that limited their capacity to keep pace. And it kind of made for I remember I went to Lagos in December and everyone's like, oh, is Chelsea in the title race with Liverpool? I was like, man, watch out. 'Cause I've been watching the games. I know how we play. I know it's Project 2030. And at that point in time, I was like, no, we're not in the title race. Like, this is Liverpool's to lose. The City is missing Rod. I think they're missing Rodri still at the time. I can't remember. Or he was. Yeah,
he was out all season.
It was just theirs to lose. And, I feel the same is happening for Arsenal. But they, because Liverpool wasn't really beating the bejesus out of them. Beating people last year, but not. It was just like they just kind of showed up and played
and took it.
Yeah, so they just showed up. So
it's like it's like Royal Rumble where you're just there and everybody's beating each other.
Yeah,
and still time you're like
full health bar. Like no, you haven't really taken many scraps. You're not in the mixer. No real injuries of note that were derailing.
Trent.
Yeah, but like. I think, it's mid-October or late October now, almost November rather, and you don't want to say, "Oh, it's theirs to win," because that is what they do. It is quintessentially North London to be like, "Oh, we've won it," and it's November, December.
It's November, December, and they have no pedigree of winning it in the last 25 years.
It's been 20 odd years.
20 years, yeah.
I don't think.
I mean, I don't want to say I think they can do it because I've said this before and they didn't. I think they should. I think that if they don't win it this time, it will even be worse.
I think I think somebody's out of a job if they don't win it.
Yeah. Some people is out of a job.
You about to lose your job.
Yeah.
I think on top of that, I think they've learned this, like,
now, you know what?
There's so much depth that, I mean, shit, shoot. Like, what do we, if somebody goes down, they've got somebody, if Odegaard goes down, they got,
You know what? I think what you just said, I think it needs to breathe a bit. If Arsenal doesn't win the Premier League this season, somebody has to get fired. Like, that needs to sit for a moment because it's true. Like, it's true. Every team that have, like, where everybody beats each other and this clears the path, they always finish the job. Like they always finish the job. So if Arsenal doesn't finish the job, somebody gotta go.
Yeah.
Heads
Yeah,
gotta roll.
it's phase 9 or 6 or
Don't
whatever.
don't let Mr. Maracanalis own your club. You be gone match day 32
On the pitch.
on the pitch. They'll give you
Marching
the
orders.
letter on the
Yeah, you
pitch.
get your P95, whatever, on the pitch. But yeah, Arsenal seemingly running away with it, but we shall see.
We shall see. And City lost away at Villa. Interesting. I didn't see the game, but Matty Cash scored. Huh? My City still, bubbly,
Shaky.
shaky.
I think Villa is just. I mean, it's not. It's City is. This is life without KDB. It's life after all those signings and sort of just the gelling period. This is like
Yeah.
a new skin, a new. It's like City 3.5, in terms of the versioning. And I think we're watching some similar growing pains like we're seeing with
Liverpool, yeah.
in terms of implementing all that talent. Whereas Aston Villa, you've got a great coach, you've got a great team. There are some inconsistencies and some frailties, but with great coaching, you can typically kind of mask those and put the other team under pressure, which is what we saw.
Yeah.
I can't understand how City, with the amount of money that has been spent and the quality that was obtained, for them to not be challenging a bit more. But
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
any given Sunday, any given weekend,
You never know. And
humbled.
yeah, Aston Villa, good for them because they started off shaky in the league as well. So big result for them. United continue to win. This is 3 games in a row in the league. 4-2 Brighton. They played well. Cunha got off the mark. Casemiro played well. Bruno's dummy for Mbuemo's last goal was class. Mbuemo played well. I thought they did benefit from some decisions. I thought that Mbuemo's first goal, although light, there was a foul on the Brighton player when he megged Shaw, and Shaw grabbed his jersey and let it go. I understand why the ref said it wasn't enough, but it was still a thug jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, I think any other weekend they would have called it. And also, there was Minte was on 1v1. He took a bad touch, but got fouled as the keeper was picking it up. Last man. If you call the foul and the person who fouled him was the last man, I don't understand how that's not a red card for Dogu. And then at 3-0 up, all of a sudden, Welbeck scores a Wardy off that same free kick that Dogu should have gotten sent off, in my opinion, for. Scores a beautiful goal. Then they score off a corner before Bremer wrap it up. So even though they won again and they played better, there was still that game could have
gone differently.
It could have gone a little different.
Brighton's a good team.
Brighton's a very good team.
I've watched us play Brighton 3 times. I've watched us lose 3 times. After taking all their talent too. So it's frustrating from my point of view. But to get 4 against them and keep them in check, it's a big result. It's a big result for Ruben Amorim, and that fan base is getting a little bit louder. After some darkness, but we think. Give it time.
Give it time. You're monitoring their downfall, huh?
No. I just, I think consistency in this business is very hard to come by.
Very.
I speak for myself in that regard, but who knows? It just takes one rainy Barclays day and things can start to go left again. So
I know Baleba, who was
on the short list for them.
Yeah, for United, and obviously some eyes were on him. At least he didn't have a
good game. Did he get sent off? No. But he had a pretty bad.
Yeah, he had a 6.2 rating, I think, on Sofa.
Yeah, you need more.
Yeah,
you need more from him.
I mean, his passing accuracy is 81. I think he's usually 81% is usually better. He got dispossessed a couple times or like read the game wrong, lost possession 10 times. Like he didn't, he, he only was in two duels,
One tackle,
one tackle.
yeah,
Like,
you need more.
yeah,
You need more.
yeah, he didn't really, like, it looked like he had some things on his mind essentially. But
Either that or they schemed him out of the game.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, but United played well. Let's not do that. Like they played well. It's kind of Casemiro goal and assist, all that stuff. They played well. So we'll give them. We'll see the next improvement that they will make towards the next game. Um, Before we go to Chelsea, Brentford gives Liverpool their fourth straight loss in the league. Um, Soboslai continues to like try his best to hold this Liverpool team up. Whatever position he plays well for them. Um, but this is just not clicking for them at all. And I did notice that Van Dijk was a little bit more aggressive in his defending. You know, before we're kind of talking like he was passive. He was a little more like challenging. I'd say, but still lost. Salah scored, but still lost. Still lost.
I know. Penny for their thoughts really would be. I'd love to hear. Like, subscribe, comment. Would love to know what's going on in the minds of the Reds right now. Just because
Do you really want to know?
I would love to know. I invite that because I just they're. I never will forget coming out of a transfer
Moises
window.
Caicedo.
Oh, there's that. Thank you.
I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do
It's
it.
more so just like there's been so many windows where we've spent considerable amounts of money to address our squad weaknesses, our frailties, and whether we've spent wisely or we spent too much or we spent or it took a while for the product to come good. The first people to mention that are typically those people.
Those people, Merseyside Red.
Yeah. So to see them kind of go through some of the growing pains after spending more than anybody's ever spent ever.
Breaking the record twice.
It's just kind of like, I'm sure they're like, it's a new experience for them. Cause you're like, damn, like we spent all this money, like he's supposed to be so good. I'm sure all those those thoughts are, they're natural. And then also like coming from the highest to the high, loving that manager to like what is going on. Like, as a Chelsea fan, I've seen some crazy things get done on the backside of massive victories leading into poor form. So
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, I can name Carlo, I can name
Real Madrid, we won the Champions League, signed Mbappe, and we went trophyless first season.
exactly. That's what you're kind of seeing, but in a larger scale because it's more than one player. But yeah, we shall see.
We shall see, and I'll give you a couple minutes to discuss your Chelsea losing 2-1 in Sunderland. The only thing I'll say is, I remember before the season started and we were discussing Sunderland, and I mentioned how important Xhaka's signing was, and he's looking like a serious he is to Sunderland right now what Jordan Henderson is to Brentford. Just the experience and the know-how and the solid 7/10 every game.
Yeah, there are a couple of moments during the game where Sunderland kind of, you could tell that they were young, or not, because we were just as young, so let me just chill on that. But they're tempestuous. They're kind of like, they were worried. They're like, oh, okay, well now we need to get the ball up immediately. So the goalie would just slam it forward, and Jocko would be like, "Yo, bro,
No.
wait for us to settle down. like we just defended that. You got the ball. I'm not even halfway up the pitch, and you're slaloming it over." Like he was just like, shit. He checked him, and that you need those types of players on the pitch. Lord knows we miss like a Thiago Silva or like a John Terry or like somebody who could kind of just, like Kalma or John, anybody. Chelsea used to have so many captains
Yeah.
playing on the pitch.
Yeah, captains that read the game. It's so hard to read the game while you're in the game
Right.
and do what the game needs to like go in your favor. Either speed it up, slow it down, whatever.
You have to think about the game as a whole as opposed to your individual
Yes.
performance. And that kind of segues into what I wanted to start on with this game. So this game, I thought Bino Gittins had played very well. Jamie Bino Gittins has kind of increased in form, his appearances over the last couple of fixtures. I was actually hoping to see him start. I know that's kind of crazy, but still against Sunderland, I thought it would have been a welcome opportunity. We went with Garnacho, who scored immediately.
Ronaldo-esque.
Yeah, it was a against the run of play. In transition. Kind of beat their back line, perfect through ball, and a tidy finish. But one of the things that I was mentioning about the importance and the mindset and mentality of a captain, one of the things that I noticed about Garnacho is he's very much a self player. So once he got that goal, I'm not gonna say he gave up. He was still very dynamic, still involved, but there was like a lack of a sacrifice for the rest of the team that I saw. I mean, he got hooked. I think what was it, like the 58th minute for Esteval.
For somebody who scored, that's early.
Yeah. He was very bummed out by getting hooked. But after that goal, he was kind of like, "What else do y'all want from me?" Like I got it done. Like, not what else would y'all want from me, but in the sense he was just like, I'm gonna look good. That was a great celebration. Like, I can't wait to like post on social. That was kind of the vibe that I got, and it kind of goes back to the comments that Enzo Mesca made about Esteval and the fact that he's got the right team around him, the right family. He doesn't score a goal and just, okay, I'm good. He's like, okay, I need to track back. How do I make things better for my teammates? That type of thing. We didn't really see that from Garnacho, and I think that costed us in the second half. Another thing that I mentioned is the fact that Garnacho and Neto are essentially the same. So to have both of those players on the pitch really just highlighted the missing element of our team in Cole Palmer, who can kind of break down a low block team, a team that's well drilled, not to give anything easy up. Because João Pedro was lost. I mean, it's been like he's been missing for like 3 games just because the service isn't there. And when a team plays a low block, it's something we've struggled with for years now. It's been years. We can't get we can't get points against lower tier sides because of that. It's just very frustrating to see that missing quality of our team in Cole, and then also have the pieces to kind of address that, but it curiously not the lineup not reflecting it, and the subs in the second half not really unlocking that. It was like every sub led to a style of play that invited Sunderland to get close more and more back in the game, give them a sense of belief. And they all ultimately wound up pipping the game. Like I think it was about 15, 20 minutes left. In the last 20 minutes of a game, the past season, Chelsea kind of comes up a notch. They're like, it might be we're losing, it might be we're winning, but regardless, we're like, okay, we need to impose ourselves in this last 20, 15 minutes. Or if it might be a 15, 20 minute period in general. But reality situation, I think we had 69% possession, and Sunderland was comfy and no problem with that. Was it 60? Yeah.
68, yeah.
68. They were like, okay, y'all can have the ball. That's cool. I mean, what are y'all going to do with it? Nothing?
Yeah,
Okay.
even the expected goals for Chelsea was less than 1.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They were very comfortable in their low block, giving us the ball. We couldn't break them down. And, they were well-deserved. I think their goalie, I don't even know if their goalie was good or not, because we didn't really give him much of a struggle the second half. The lights just went off. So frustrating. It was an opportunity to kind of, by the looks of the table, go second, maybe third from our position. But it was never going to be a title race season for us. It's more of a, our objectives are top four and a good campaign in the Champions League, and pivot a couple of domestic trophies. That's where my mentality and my expectations are. But the worry around Maresca is getting. There's a group of fans that are not happy with the style. I think we can do better. It came from the championship, yada yada yada. But Juventus has put Maresco on their short list for candidates. That was even before they binned off their
Igor
coach.
Tudor, yeah.
And we'll get into that a little bit. But
Yeah.
if that's a storyline that I would keep. Unfortunately, I'd keep my eye on just because I know my club. I think Juventus is a massive club, and Enzo Maresca is Italian.
Writings on the wall.
I mean, it's very easy if the pressure gets too hot at Chelsea, things go left. He's already a little bit upset about the fact that he didn't get a center back and get what he wanted this past window. So if things do,
You pull a Conte.
or a Maurizio Sarri. I think Sarri went back to
Lazio.
Did he go back to Lazio?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, a club wanted him, and it might have been a better fit for his personality or whatever. He didn't think twice. So I think on the heels of what was a kind of a rough season at Chelsea, with the writing on the wall being Eden Hazard was going, and there was a transfer ban. So I don't know if he does a self-preservation move and leaves, but not scary hours around Chelsea right now, but not great. Kind of like where are we going?
Yeah.
What's the ceiling?
Still 3 points out of the top four. Like you said, if you had won that game, you'd at least be fourth. Depending on the result, maybe even third. But there's still time, and Arsenal is like 4 points ahead of Bournemouth. Tottenham is top four. They're having a decent season. Sunderland is in the top four.
What I learned about last year...
Liverpool is 7.
Yeah. What I learned about last year is when you get those teams like a Forest or... who else was up at the top last year that didn't really belong there?
Newcastle was one there.
Yeah, those are Aston Villa,
Brighton, Aston Villa, Forest.
All those teams kind of like I was like, dang, dude, like it was like March. I was like, we're really gonna finish ninth. But the thing is, when the rubber meets the road, when things get serious, I do think they don't have the depth to go the long way. And that's what you saw. I mean, Forrest actually fumbled the bag last season.
Yeah, they did.
But
against you guys.
Yes, they did. But that wasn't. There was a couple of fixtures leading up to that kind of put us in a position to kind of pivot. So, I'm hoping Sunderland kind of falls away a little bit. God forbid somebody gets hurt. I never wish that upon anybody. But I don't know if they have 2 or 3 Shakas on the bench.
No, no, they do not. They're lucky they're playing one game a season.
Yeah. But anyway, we move.
Really quick in Italy, the big game was Napoli-Inter. Napoli won 3-1, which is shocking based on Napoli's form, but not shocking if you watch Serie A. Anything can happen. AC Milan dropped points against Pisa on Friday. Napoli now lead the table. Lautaro and Conte were going at it, 2 former colleagues, which is funny. KDB scored and got hurt, so he's out for a minute. Like you mentioned, Igor Tudor sacked at Juventus after a loss, and like you said, Maresca might be replacing him. And yeah, that's the recap. Finish of the week. I think between the Champions League and the league fixtures in the last weekend, saw some good goals. I think we're getting to that point of the season where people are like hitting their flow state. Alex Garcia scored a worldie for Leverkusen against PSG. Mecha scored for Dortmund against Copenhagen. A nice goal. That guy's a good player. Navarro scored a beautiful curler for Athletic Club. Do you know you're not allowed to call them Athletic? They don't like that. So it's Athletic Club. Against Navarro against Karabakh. Welbeck's goal, a free kick against United, but McTominay's goal in that Napoli-Inter game. he didn't start the season well as the MVP. He hadn't not start, like he wasn't putting up numbers essentially, but that goal, like they played him through. He was 1v1, but the ball was bouncing, so you had to wait for the ball to land and
Smacked it.
give it a dirty slap to the bottom corner. So I would say because of the game and the goal, I'll give it to Scotty McTee for sure. Player of the week, there's a lot of choices. Mbuemo's had a good game. Jude scored the winner against Juventus midweek, then score and assist in the Clasico, the youngest or second youngest Real Madrid players ever to do that. Modric was magisterial against Pisa, even though they tied.
Timeless.
He is what you were talking about, where the game needs something in terms of tempo, either switch or slow.
Yeah.
Textbook.
Yeah.
He is the textbook of that for AC Milan. Wonderful game. Osimhen scored 2 goals in the Champions League and assist. Scored again during the weekend. Then Leonard Carr, I think his name is, the teenager for Bayern, came on, scored in the Champions League, scored against in the weekend. Me personally, I think it's between Jude, Osimhen, and Carl. I'm thinking I want to give the young boy the shout. Jude did do it in 2 big games against Juventus and Barca, and that's the thing that's like tying me. So, but I know there's a Madrid bias there, so I'll let you pick.
I mean, I was gonna say like football last weekend. He wasn't very kind to me. So, I was gonna give this one to you. I do have an appreciation for as we get to Unk status. I have an appreciation for players who can still do it at Unk level.
Modric,
Luca, what he's doing is. I mean, I don't want to say it's like I don't want to compare him to Pirlo, but the type of.
I think that's a good shout.
Yeah, maestro type of.
That's a great shout.
That we're seeing is something that real ball knowers just like to see. They're just like, I mean, it's not like, oh, look at him bombing up and down the pitch. It's the game was one way, and now he's in here, and the game is going simply differently.
They're very different. Very different.
To be able to still do that
at 40. At 40.
What are we talking about?
It was against a lower opposition.
Yeah.
So even though it was amazing, I don't know. I want to give it to him, but I can't just overlook Jude's performance in 2 big games. Juventus and Barcelona in 4 days, and you score 2 goals and 1 assist in those games.
Yeah.
I gotta give it. Yeah. I can't. I want to give Osimhen as well, who has been scoring as well. I want to show the young boy love in Bayern, but I can't overlook Jude. So Jude, congrats, IQ Player of the Week. Upcoming fixtures tomorrow, Tuesday. So by the time this episode comes out, Atalanta, would have played AC Milan. Inter Fiorentina play on Wednesday. So Serie A, I'm telling you, I think from 11th through to the 1st, it's like 6 or 7 points separating them. It's wild. And you see that continue throughout the season. Inter play Fiorentina on Wednesday. Spurs play Chelsea on Saturday. And AC Milan play AS Roma on Sunday. That would be a good game as well. So
yeah.
Spurs Chelsea is probably the game to look forward to. Probably the game that we might deep dive into. So again, football is in the thick of it now. Every weekend counts for sure.
Just real quick, I know we recorded last week. We didn't get a chance to talk about the UCL games that I think occurred last week. Not going to get too much into it, but it was a big match for Chelsea in the sense that it's funny. You lose track of how young. You lose track of how young the players are. With Joshua Chempong, playing lights out against Ajax, Esteval getting his first.
That penalty was cold.
There's no doubt about it.
That penalty was cold.
Tyreek George being great.
Yeah. Gree scored.
Reese, did you say Reese?
No, Gui, Mark Gui.
Mark Gui, yes.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say is, I think we had. It was like, oh, that's the youngest player to score for Chelsea, and then another player scored. I was like, that's actually the youngest player to score for Chelsea for Champions League, and then another player scored. And to know that they're all under 24, essentially. I mean, Enzo Fernandez is, I think, 24. He was the only one on the score sheet that was that old. It's just really, it's nice to see for the future and whatnot. These are moments that these guys are. You can tell when they score. Like, they're like,
Like it's 4-1 and
Yeah.
Spurs go.
yeah, like people are like, chill, bro. Why are y'all lose? Why are you having head loss against Ajax, bro? That's the first time he's heard the anthem.
And he scored.
He scored, and it's raining, and it's aura. Like,
That's definitely going up on the frame in
Yeah.
each of their houses.
So that was cool to see. I think Gittins played very well. Bono Gittins played well as well, if I remember that game. So yeah, I just didn't want to blaze too fast over that because there was some joy shot. It was a weird lineup, but it worked. I thought it was going to give us on the
Momentum.
weekend, but here we are.
Hey man, London, nothing like a London derby to
Yeah,
kick off, even though it's away. But I mean, Spurs, you never know. But Spurs, I mean, they beat Everton 3-0.
Yeah.
So they are on a good form and they're in top 4 as well. But
did they lose their Champions League game? Spurs.
they tied
They tied.
0-0,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
But yeah.
Either way, yeah, that's a big. Let me find out we don't perform. Let me find out.
Oh man. And there you have it. Please like, comment, subscribe so you can check out what Nelson shows up next week based on Chelsea's performance.
Up the Blizz.
Appreciate your support thus far. Like I said, please like, share, subscribe. It will help us tremendously. And Hala Madrid.
Cheers. Peace.